As you can see, I own and skipper a Grand Banks 42 Classic, which I love. And for years I towed my AB tender behind it, like for 4.5 years, and then looked around for a solution to actually bring the tender on board as I was passage making. I initially thought of installing davits, fitting davits to the transom, but they destroyed the aesthetics of the Grand Banks. I then looked at fitting on top of the flybridge where I'm sitting, crane davit, and then stowing the tender on top of the aft cabin. But that sort of left the space around the aft deck too tight. And then I looked at a very expensive option, and that was a hydraulic platform. A swim platform with all of the hydraulic gear underneath the water. But by the time that I got quotations for that, I stopped. They were so expensive. I then looked further and found what I think is the perfect answer, and that is the PrestoMarine hydraulic lift, which I've now fitted to my Grand Banks. I think most importantly, none of the moving parts, the mechanical parts, the hydraulic parts are actually underneath the water in the salt water. So that cuts down on maintenance regime and particularly maintenance costs. Secondly, the hydraulic pack can be fitted either inside an aft cabin or in the lazarette where I have mine fitted in essentially a salt-free, dry environment. And the only parts that are exposed to the marine environment are the two hydraulic arms. But none of them enter the water except when I'm lowering and raising the tender. The other advantage is the very short time, less than a minute, it takes to actually lower the tender into the water. I hop into it and drift off and do what I have to do, go ashore, explore. And then when I come back to the mothership, I just drift on to the arms, and again less than a minute, and the dinghy is raised and stored safely close to the transom for excellent passage making. When you receive the lift from PrestoMarine, it essentially comes as a total package. For example, the lowering and raising of the tender itself is controlled by a radio controlled unit this size here, and it's just a matter of switching it on, lowering it. When you're ready to bring it back up, less than a minute each operation. So handy. With the assistance of a, say, a qualified shipwright or a good marine engineering shop, you can almost self-install. I suppose my final reason for selecting the PrestoMarine lift was it's made in Sweden, it's well designed, it's well engineered, it's safe. I found the people at PrestoMarine Sweden excellent to deal with. The order was fulfilled on time and to budget. And we actually flew the unit from Sweden to Australia, and it was here in 6 days. It's tremendous service. I was so impressed with the product that I sought the Australian distributorship, which I secured, and I would be happy to answer any questions that anybody has on installing it on almost any variety of powerboat. If you would like further information on the PrestoMarine lift in Australia, I'd be very happy to supply it. I may be contacted on my mobile number 0418 923 103 website, and it can be accessed at www.prestomarineaustralia.com. I would be very happy to help, and thank you very much for watching this short video.